Did you know there is such a thing as a black market for delivery drivers, including Uber Eats, and it extends to DoorDash and Grubhub too? Well, there is, and if you work for any of these platforms, you're gonna want to listen to this video because it is causing a lot of issues in many markets, and it can really affect what goes into your pocket. I have been doing research for months now, just based off of my curiosity on oversaturation in a lot of markets. I felt like there was something off. I couldn't quite put my finger on it. You know, I took to Google for research. I was trying to find anything I could on this subject, and you would think Google would have everything at the fingertips. Yeah, no, this was nowhere to be found until a friend of mine sent me an article this past week, and all the pieces of the puzzles came together. My light bulb went off, and I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly what I am looking for. So you are gonna wanna watch this entire video, because if you work for any of these food delivery apps such as Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, this really does affect you and what you can do if something like this comes to your market. So what is the black market? You think black market, you think like dark and mysterious, but in this case, the black market, and this article specifically talks about Uber Eats, but it has been a known fact, it is affecting DoorDash and Grubhub as well. They interviewed 3 different delivery drivers, and what is happening is there's a ring that is really targeting drivers that want opportunities in the US and that have just arrived, and they really are essentially borrowing and even renting genuine Uber Eats accounts, DoorDash accounts, Grubhub accounts, and they do not operate under their real name. So the problem that they're really finding is, and at least in this article, specifically New York City, they are concerned because the amount of apartments delivery drivers go into in any given city, they have access to a lot of residences, and without being properly vetted and background checked through any one of these companies, it can really pose a threat to customers that are ordering from these companies. Here is kind of how these operations, so to speak, actually work. So they're delivery drivers, and they do about 3 to 5 deliveries per hour, including orders that probably you and I would not take, and they usually work a 12-hour shift. So essentially, these rings target new drivers from outside the US who don't have money or proper documentation, and ultimately they get a cut of every single penny they make on any one of these platforms, and which is how they essentially operate and make their money and continue these rings going throughout the United States. So when these 3 people were interviewed, all confirmed that they all had accounts set up with Uber Eats using other people's accounts. One of the delivery drivers that were interviewed started in 2018, and between all the accounts that he has used, he has completed 4,000 deliveries, and ultimately he said that these rings could easily be shut down by any one of these platforms, especially Uber Eats, because that's what he operated under. Instead of just doing that random facial recognition once, maybe a week, if they did it every single hour, there's no way that the phone could get back to the originator of the account to scan the photo of that account, ultimately shutting down a lot of these operations. And I think we've all, at least in my opinion, I feel like we've all thought that as delivery drivers. Like, why don't the companies have the technology? Why don't they instill a lot of these facial recognitions a lot more often to prevent things and rings like this happening? It's been a question of mine for a while. I mean, DoorDash, when they did the facial recognition, I did that months ago, and I've never had to do it ever since, ever again. Ubereats is, to me, it's probably one of the best ones out of the platforms. They at least do theirs once a week. Grubhub, I've never had to do any facial recognition. Instacart is a little bit less than Uber Eats, but more than DoorDash. And then lately, Walmart Spark, even though they don't fall within the food delivery category, I have now had to do it twice in 1 week. So I feel like a lot of these companies are catching on. I just don't know whether they're doing it quick enough to shut down a lot of these rings that are happening in a lot of the markets. I might be asking him, what do I really care about this whatsoever? Well, you should care a little bit. Not about the other drivers, and really not so much about the rings. But a lot of this is coming to markets like yours and mine. And it might start off with a couple of delivery drivers that you might not recognize by working in your area a lot. But it can multiply very quickly. It can go from 10 extra drivers to 20 extra drivers to 100 extra drivers, to the point where they are flooding markets with drivers, essentially causing oversaturation. And then essentially what happens is you're not getting orders to your phone. That was my aha moment for me when I was researching a lot of these different markets. Is a lot of oversaturation caused by some of these black market rings, so to speak, because they have flooded purposely a lot of these markets, trying to capitalize on a lot of the good markets that are out there. So you're going to have to let me know. Have you noticed something like this in your own individual markets? And if you have, has it caused an impact in your earnings or the orders, the amount of orders that are coming into your phone? Essentially, the reason why I wanted to do this video is, guys, I am not here to stop anybody from making money, going out and hustling, doing what you need to survive. Everybody needs to do you and go out and do your hustle and go make your money. But the reason why I am making this video is because if you are seeing the oversaturation happening in your market, how do you combat it as a driver on any one of these platforms? Over the years of me doing this, I can't tell you how many times I've done quote unquote market research in my own area. I now have secondary locations, third locations, fourth locations, and even a location that is 30 to 40 minutes away, because if I'm not getting the orders or the amount of money that I need, I'll call it my own comfort zone. It's my zone that I love to work in because I know the restaurants, I know the back roads, I know how to maneuver in and out, I know the parking, I know it like the back of my hand. But if that's not producing for me, I know the areas that I'm going to go to that's going to make me my money and my goals, whether you are part-time or even full-time, and it's not going to slow down my hustle. So if I can say anything, get outside your comfort zone, even for a shift, maybe even for 2 shifts. Start exploring other areas that might be another option besides the one you're in if you're coming across oversaturation. Second thing is I have now, I think I'm up to 16 apps on my phone that are active and that I actually have worked or I am currently working. So go outside of food delivery, sign up for grocery delivery. If you're not interested in grocery delivery, sign up for last mile apps such as Curry, such as Point Pickup, Roadie. I'm trying to think of any. Walmart Spark is, grocery delivery apps. But anyway, sign up. I feel like I'm forgetting. So, sign up for even catering apps such as Delivered and Deliver That. There are so many different ways of hustling that can still make you money in case something like that comes to your market. So having more of a backup plan. Don't become app reliant just on one app. Have backup apps to your current apps that are making you money. So if something like this ever happens or comes to your area, you're prepared and you know how to keep on making your money and keep on going. But anyway, guys, I just thought I would share this with you. It was a very interesting article to read. I encourage you to read it as well, and it might just make you think about your own area. So you're gonna have to let me know if this is happening in your own area. So guys, thank you so much for being here today. If you're new here and coming here for the very first time, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Make sure that that bell is turned on so you know when all my latest videos come out. And everyone, don't forget to give this one a thumbs up. If you're driving, please stay safe out there. Remember, kindness is always free. I love you guys, and I'll see you next video. Peace out. If you liked this video and want to see others like it, go ahead and check this out right here. New to my channel?